So if you've been online lately looking at trail communication, you probably noticed that most people these days are switching to GMRS. I'm going to tell you why GMRS is becoming popular, and also I'm going to tell you about these radios that I use, and then we're going to go ahead and install one of these on the Gladiator. So this little guy is a Midland MXT105. Very small, compact, lightweight, super easy to install in your vehicle. I like having the hard-mounted radio in the vehicle for me personally. I just like the ease of use of it. These mobile radios are Midland GXT1000s, and my wife and I used these last year at Easter Jeep Safari. Having handhelds is nice for a lot of reasons. Say you meet up with somebody and you can just hand this to them and they can have this in their Jeep for the day, or somebody needs to go off and use the restroom, or they're whatever. You can stay in communication with them. It's just nice, peace of mind. So for me, when we're out on the trail and either my wife or I am out of the vehicle filming, maybe we're running up ahead or back behind, we can communicate, hey, can you stop and wait for me, or blah, blah, blah. It's just nice to be able to communicate to each other out there. So the handhelds, in my opinion, are a must-have. The hard mount is not a must, it is just a plus. It seems like for a long time CB was the standard, and ham radios were really popular, but they're complicated and you have to get licensed to legally use them, and you have to take a test, and there's a lot of hassle involved with ham. So it seems like GMRS is the middle ground for all communications, because you do have to be licensed to use it, but to obtain that license, you just pay a fee. It's not that much money. Put that number here. That licenses you for 10 years, and it licenses all of your family. So if your family, let me rephrase that. It doesn't license your family, but it allows them to use a GMRS under your license. So anybody in your family, you can throw them a handheld when you're out there, and they're covered. The ease of use, the affordability, and the clarity of the GMRS is the best overall, in my opinion, from what I've used. I haven't personally used ham, but I've been around people who use ham, and there are benefits to having that. There's a lot that you can do, but for me, this is, like I said, in my opinion, the best way to go. And when we're going to be installing this with the Gladiator, we're going to be using everything that comes in this package. Comes with a sticky adhesive mount for the mic here, as well as they give you a cigarette lighter to power this unit. And for the time being, I'm going to use this, and we'll talk more about this later, but this can be easily hardwired in, not a big deal. And this little antenna that they give you, I don't know what kind of range that we're going to be seeing with this antenna, but my plan is to position this somewhere under the soft top, so it could be functional, but when I have the top down, I can just flip the top back and then stick this up vertically so we can get hopefully a really good signal. But we're going to install this, and then we're just going to do a little test and see what kind of range we're able to get from the Gladiator and hit one of these mobile units. Let's get started. Here, I got this little tray with some double-sided sticky tape that sits over the four-wheel drive shifter, little cubby. This is actually where I'm going to mount the radio to start. I think I like this place. We're going to screw in the bracket like this. It does get close to my leg for driving, but it doesn't look like it should interfere. To be honest, it is close, but I like screwing into this plastic because I can just get another one of these, or it doesn't really matter. I don't want to be screwing anywhere into the dash plastic. You could use adhesive tape and stuff, but I like just securing it right here. And also, because we're going to be using the cigarette lighter for power, cigarette lighter is right here. So what we'll be able to do is plug it in, and then if we don't want it, we can set it back down in this tray, so it'll kind of be hidden. So I like that, and we're gonna start with that. After that, we'll figure out where we want to mount the microphone mount, and then finally the hardest part will be running the antenna. But yeah, let's get this thing mounted. The brackets in, you simply slide the unit in, and it's nice and easy. If you want to take it out and move it, just pull these two tabs on the side and it will slide right up. But I like the positioning of that. Also, I'll be able to read the display and everything pretty easily. So yeah, this is my normal driving position, and yeah, you can see it's close, but I'm not touching. And this is totally comfortable how I normally drive. And so even if I was to push my leg up against it, I'm actually like pretty far over, and that's not where I want to sit on the gas pedal anyway. So it is close, but yeah, I don't think it's an issue for me personally. For the microphone placement, I was thinking about this for a while. I think the best spot would be actually right here, sort of on the passenger side. So it's still within reach of the driver, but the passenger could operate it as well. The cord is pretty much not in the way. It'd be slightly in the way for some of the accessories, but it's not a big deal. I don't think there's a perfect place for both of these, but I feel like this and this is the best overall compromise. I was thinking about putting it over here, but then it's hard for the passenger to reach if they want to operate. So I think we're gonna put it here. Yeah, let's put it right here. I'm really happy with this placement. This cord also we can stretch out a little bit, get these coils not so tight. It would give us a little more slack, and then this would kind of sit down in here nicely. So after use, or I'll just stretch it a little bit, it'll sit nicely and not be in the way. So yeah, that's not bad. I can be fully back in the seat, and I can reach it. And yeah, so I'm pretty happy with that. All right, so this is the plan currently for the magnetic antenna. We're on top of the Jeep here with the top flip back. And my plan is for it to stay like this when the top is down, and hoping I would get decent signal this way. But a lot of the times, especially here in California, weather's nice. When we're on trail rides, I like to have the top down, and I can just flip that up for better signal. So, and store it like this, no problem. So my plan is to run this across through here and down, and then hopefully there's enough to come down along the B pillar on the plastic, all the way down, and then up under the dash and around and over to the radio. So let's see if it's long enough and run it and see what we can do. So one thing that's kind of cool with this, I don't know if it's necessarily a good thing, but this trim is so easily movable. You can see how I'm doing this with one hand, pushing the wire back behind here. So for ease of running this cable, it could not be any easier to pop these. I mean, you don't need anything. The wire, you could just shove it right in there. So anyways, like I said, I'm gonna finish shoving it all the way down here and around underneath the dash. But I just wanted to show you how easy it was to get in some of these pieces. Now here it's getting tighter, but as you can see with two hands, it's not a big deal. So kind of really stoked with how easy it has been to run this. I thought this would be the hardest part, but it turns out to be not too bad. So I have the complete antenna ran. Let me bring a light down here for you guys to see. So the antenna, I was able to tuck underneath this trim, and it goes right underneath, up along the dash. This is where most of the excess is, underneath the dash, zip tied up against, and it comes down. It drops, comes in where the door release panel is, and yeah, it follows this seam all the way up to the top. So what we're gonna do next, I'm just curious as to what kind of range it's gonna give us, and I'm gonna leave one of the and when I specify range, I'm talking from the hard mounted unit to one of the handhelds. So I'm gonna leave one of the handhelds with my wife. We'll be in communication, and I'll just drive and see how many miles, hopefully, we can get away before we lose signal. So that should be fun. And I'm gonna try it with the top down just for optimal performance. Just want to see kind of sort of what the max range is. Once again, it won't be ideal scenario because we'll be in the city here, so there will be obstructions and stuff like that. But still, I think it should give us a rough idea of what we should expect. Yeah, I'm happy with the Midland handhelds and the hard mount. Oh, also, one thing I did not note, but might be important for you, is there is an auxiliary jack on the back of the hard mounted unit, and 3.5 millimeter, so you can run a cord into the auxiliary port of the Jeep, so then you can in turn have the GMRS audio coming through your speakers of your vehicle. That little speaker that's on there is actually pretty decent, so for most people it might be adequate, but if you wanted to or even run it to a headset, I think you could do that as well. All right, so 1.1 miles. Can you hear me? Over.
Hear you loud and clear. Over.
We're at 2 miles. Can you still hear me? Over. Yeah, you're getting a little bit staticky, but I can make you out at 2 miles.
I'm saying over.
Looked like we lost about 2.2, 2.3 miles. I think that's pretty good from the truck to a handheld. I'm assuming vehicle to vehicle would be better, much better, I'm assuming. So now we're gonna test with the top down and the antenna in the other position, see if we can pick up around that same spot. So with the top down and the antenna in that other position pointed horizontally, we were able to get right around 2 miles of range. So we lost a little bit, about 0.2 or 0.3 miles, so not that much. And yeah, like I said before, I am definitely happy with these radios, and I'll be interested in testing them with from vehicle to vehicle on 2 hard-mounted systems and see how much more range we can get. But I'm definitely happy with the price, the install, everything. If you made it this far in the video and you're not already subscribed, make sure you go down below and hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on when I post my latest videos. As always, I'll see you guys in the next one.
I've been dreaming on in my head like I've seen it. A life worth living is a life with meaning. I'll do what I love till